We are the keepers of the flame, the sacred order. Let the ceremony begin.
And today, faithful acolytes, we take a look at this. And what this is from Silk City Hot Sauce, it is the shake and pour over hot sauce. And of course, we can't really get into this without talking about the label. The label is this. The Kiss Rock and Roll Over album cover. Now, I've talked about this album at length on a different channel. Real briefly, what's kind of interesting about this one is a lot of these songs were either from the Destroyer sessions or before that. And this came out 6 months after Destroyer, almost to the day. Some of the concert classics are on here. I Want You, Dr. Love, Making Love. Their attempt to find gold with Hard Luck Woman, which of course was supposed to be the follow-up to Beth. But there are some deep cuts on here that are really kind of cool too. We got Take Me and Mr. Speed. But there's a lot of, this actually is one of the worst songs ever from Baby Driver from the band. There is some kind of pedestrian stuff like Love 'Em and Leave 'Em. This is one of the versions of See You in Your Dreams that Gene Simmons disliked so much he actually did it later again. 2 years later, 2 or 3 years later actually, on his own solo album. So some pretty cool stuff on this album, but this is definitely what they're going for here. And of course, Kiss, 2023 is, they have now retired from live touring. It's the end of 2023 as I film this, so I don't understand which Pepper is supposed to be which band member, but they didn't do Paul Stanley any favors here. Gene Simmons is actually fairly close, oddly. And then we got Peter Criss and Ace Frehley here. So Ace comes through here pretty good as well. And Peter Criss is not bad. Just Paul Stanley is the one that just took it in the teeth there with this gigantic pig nose that they gave him. I don't know why that happened, but okay, so there's the inspiration for the label. Now, as for the sauce itself, oh, hey, check this out. There's a code. 20% off if you use the word code FIRE, I guess, at the Silk City Hot Sauce website. That's pretty cool. Oh, interesting. Wonder if that still works. You guys could try it out if you want, I guess. So we have here tomatoes, red peppers. The hot peppers are listed as hot peppers, but they're habanero, garlic, cider vinegar, and salt. Now, I'm not picking on Silk City here because a lot of companies do this, but I don't understand this trend of not specifying what peppers you're using. Like, what is the point of that? I don't, I'm just a little baffled by that. Not listed here, but in this sauce, I believe is also maple syrup. What's kind of interesting about this one, besides the obvious love for Kiss here, is this is a really cool idea, recreating the album cover with peppers. On the website is a different ingredient listing than what's on the bottle, which, I mean, it's not hugely different. I think maple is on the website, and it's not here, and it specifies on the website that these are habaneros. I find some of this kind of confusing, but I'm glad that at least ingredients are on this. So looking at this, you could definitely see tomato is a huge influence here. This reminds me, it's not quite as dark of a red as I recall, but this reminds me a lot of another hot sauce I did from Silk City called Badass Jew. And that one was in contention that year for Sauce of the Year. This one is, I think, is actually in contention, but realistically, it's not hot enough. I mean, it is good enough that that it will be in the consideration, which again, Silk City seems to find their way there quite a bit. But it realistically is not hot enough. This is habanero, and it's kind of in the middle of the ingredients, so it's just not that hot. Gorgeous sauce, though. To me, it kind of looks like a spaghetti sauce, and we'll get into that more in just a little bit. But let's give this a whack here. Very tomatoey. It's not as pepper flavory to me as the Badass Jew. Very similar, though. Closer to that than not. Really quite good tasting. This is a sauce, one of those rare sauces out there for me. I don't think you can actually overuse this. It is so good tasting that even if you use a lot, and you might because it's not that hot, you're going to be fine. It's really, if this was a little bit thicker, you could use this as a spaghetti sauce. And we're not going to do that today. Because it reminds me so much of the Badass Jew sauce, I went back and I looked at that where I did it with, I did it as a shrimp cocktail sauce. And that style of sauce with seafood together is just wonderful. So I didn't want to do shrimp again. I didn't want to do fish. So I thought, all right, what if I do calamari? And that's what we have here. It is this, I didn't really like the way these cooked, actually. They're not as crispy as I liked. I should have left them in longer, but I got excited. Take a good look at them. Trying not to dump the plate here. These are from Sea Pak. A very mediocre Sea Pak, but it's all I could find on short notice, and I decided I really wanted calamari. I got this at Walmart. This is what $7 of calamari looks like from Walmart. Oh, nothing like gouge happy corporations. Very plain, very boring pedestrian breading, but man, alive with this sauce is quite good. This is an excellent, excellent, excellent sauce. I think it was like $8. I don't know what size. It's calling it a 5-ounce bottle, but capacity is actually a little bit higher. This sits taller than the normal 5-ounce ones, and it's wider as well. So I'd say it's probably closer to 5.5 or so, 5 3/4 maybe. The other ones will have a max capacity of between like 5 1/4 and 5 and 5.3 ounces. I did a video short on that if you're interested. You can find that in the random playlist if you want to check that out. But I went through ounce by ounce to do the levels. I think there's a couple options when I was looking online. You get one that was like the normal one's 5 1/4 to 5.3, somewhere in there. This one I think is there's another option to get to like 5 3/4, 5.8, somewhere in there. I assume that's what these are. Either which way, $8 for 5 ounces of a delicious sauce. Especially for how much sauce they're going for now. Great deal. Silk City, if you're a chili head, should be on your radar anyway. Jeff over there knows his way around a sauce. And the theme of this one's kind of cool. Any kick out of that. And that's literally what we did for this video. We shook it earlier, and we poured over this entire plate of calamari. With the breading that refuses to behave. It's pretty funny. You know, I almost ate right there as much in calamari as the sauce cost. Ridiculous. Gouge happy corporations. Can't live with them. Especially for relatively mediocre stuff. Those would have been really bad were it not for this. And that's kind of the point of hot sauce, right? Is to add to food. Which this one does pretty well. So after all that I just got done eating, I'm sitting at a, I hesitate to call it a 1. I will call it a 1, but relatively low heat. So it's only habanero. You know, for most chili heads, I think habanero is pretty much candy. It's training wheels, you know. If you get into some of the Savinas and stuff, obviously that's not the case because some of those are they're both quite a bit tastier, but also quite a bit punchier. I'm talking like the orange ones that you see at the grocery store and stuff, but which I think is pretty similar to the heat here. But it's a very, like, everything about this sauce is just fantastic. Flavor is good. I could use a little bit more heat, but the consistency is good. The color is good. It's gorgeous. Like I said, it reminds me a lot of the Badass Juice sauce that I also love quite a bit. And you can check out the written review for that and this, and it links to the video for the Badass Juice sauce as well. I kind of missed the flasks. That the Badass Juice sauce was in a flask, but I kind of get it. I mean, you have to. It used to be. You know, it used to be, I think it was an 8 or 10 ounce flask for $10, and now we have a 5 ounce bottle for $8. Still a massive, tremendous deal though. And I get it. All the supplies and stuff are going up because, again, say it with me, kids, greedy corporations. So, but as far as this sauce goes, if you're looking to kind of see what Silk City is all about, just dip your toes in the water as a starter sauce. And he rotates a lot of different sauces. I've done as many of them as I can come across. Usually I'll go to Silk City once a year and do a good buy. Not goodbye, but like a good buy, like a good purchase. And if you're not familiar with them though, very accessible sauce. This is absolutely one you should pick up. No question about it. Just a really, really lovely entry as far as for any hot sauce maker. But if you want to dip your toes in with Silk City, this is one to get. And I think from there, you're almost certainly going to launch and do some digging as far as the other ones, because there's quite a bit to offer there. But yeah, this is definitely one of the better ones I think I've had from Silk City. I am going to enjoy all of this. It is hugely, hugely flexible sauce. And I got into that a little bit in the written review as well. So yeah, just a bottle of wonderful right here. And we'll leave it right there. So there it is. The Silk City Shake and Pour Over Hot Sauce. Now go forth in peace to serve the flame.